Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. It's a pleasure to be here. I think this is maybe a very different presentation to what you've seen. It's not specifically about aviation, but I think the existence of the Dubai Future Foundation plays a pivotal role in ensuring that we continuously push our existing industries into the future. So we were a part of kind of ensuring that the Roads and Transport Authority, all of the existing industries and organizations in Dubai to start embedding these future technologies in the work that you do. What I'll present to you today here about the Dubai Future Foundation is why do cities around the world need to be ready for the future? How can they be ready for the future? What are the uncertainties? What are the assumptions that people see? And what do we see as global trends? And how do we do that work here at the Dubai Future Foundation? If you are here today or tomorrow during the World Government Summit, please do visit the De-Extinction Lab that we launched at the World Government Summit. It's a new project that we're running as the Dubai Future Foundation to look at the future of kind of DNA sequencing, around biology, around kind of de-extinction and animals. And I think these are all things we start as research that come into fruition as actual projects. So if people think about what is really a city of the future needs, we need to really understand that the city of the future or any organization in the future needs resilience, needs to understand that the world will continuously change and we need to be resilient around adapting to these changes. And any city and any organization in every country around the world is really a place that needs to look at foresight, to really understand how the future is changing, how do I perceive myself in the future, and what do I need to build to go forward. And if you're resilient and you do foresight and you do nothing around action, there's no value. So you need to take action, you need to take a step towards the future that you're trying to create. So in Dubai, we really believe that Dubai is the city of the future. In the past 10 years of the existence of the Dubai Future Foundation, we've continuously pushed that Dubai is ready for everything that comes in the world, from emerging technologies to new business models, to new regulations, to new ecosystems being built. Dubai is always a city known for being ready for the future. And this is what we do at the Dubai Future Foundation. We're a product of what we call the growth story of Dubai, and we continuously push the edges of what's possible in the city of Dubai. But anytime that we talk about the future, readiness about the future, we really need to talk about research and really understanding and perceiving how the future is changing. And really our future really contributes to what we believe is our view of the future. How do we perceive the future changing and what actions do we want to take accordingly? So what I'll talk about today is three main things. These are assumptions, uncertainties, and megatrends, and they impact every industry in the world. If you're in aviation, they will impact you differently. If you're in education, they will impact you differently. What we believe is that the new industries of the future will all intertwine and work together going forward. If we talk about assumptions, I'll talk about 5 main things, and there's impact of these assumptions on the aviation industry as well. First of all, we believe that lives will be longer and healthier. Humanity years and years ago, the average age of a human was much lower. If you think about 100 or 200 years ago, someone who was at 40 would be kind of an age you look at kind of the health span of humanity. But what we talk about today in 2023 and beyond is that we see people will be more active for longer, for much older ages. So we believe that this will impact industries from an aviation, continuous engagement of more travelers. This will impact the workforce, will impact healthcare, will impact every industry that we go forward. We also believe, unfortunately, that climate change will persist. We see that a lot is going to happen around climate change, around different things happening in climates around the world, and that will push a lot more people into poverty because of the changes of climate. And we constantly see these things happening around the world, from floods to hurricanes to things happening around the world where everyone is impacted by these decisions. And I believe even the aviation industry was impacted during kind of the rain that happened in Dubai last year. Another thing we also believe and see based on all of the trends is that inequalities will continue. The rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer, and that's unfortunately what we're seeing. And the policies and the systems around the world are not creating change to create that equality that we want to see. And a good news, technology will continue to advance. We see the cost of technology, for example, for gene sequencing went from $95 million in 2001 all the way to $100 soon. So what we perceive is that technology will continuously adapt and get cheaper for people to use, and that's what we're seeing in every single technology that we're embarking on. And what we believe is a key role, and I believe the World Government Summit shows this, is that global interdependencies will remain. Countries will have to work with countries around the world for trade, for aviation, for every different sectors. As the world and as the globe, we will have to work together to make sure that we continuously uplift each other and uplift the economy as well. But what you saw right now are what we assume is going to happen. The assumptions are things we see based on trends, but the uncertainties are things that we actually see data showing you two ends of the spectrum. So we're not sure where these things will go. So I'll talk about 5 different uncertainties we see in the future. One of the first one is we need to understand to what extent will international collaboration advance. Will we see nations working together to solve things? And we see that here at the World Government Summit around what you do, but we also see places around the world where nations continue to disagree and continue to not want to work together or collaborate. So we really don't understand in the future will we see more of kind of multilateralism, what we see here today, or multipolarity as we go forward. On the other thing is to what extent will the values of global populations align? As technology kind of levels the playing field where all people are seeing the same amount of content, the same amount of kind of stories around the world, do we see that values become things that we share universally? Or do we see that different parts of the world will have a different set of values and build their ecosystems and their economies and their countries based on these different values? And again, in technology, although we believe technology will continue to advance, will we see that technology will make our lives daily better? Will you really benefit from technology? Or will it purely focus on creating efficiencies in services and governments and organizations and customers? So we really don't understand, will it go into that direction or this direction? And that's something we continuously look towards. Another thing is, do we see that nature will, and the technologies around us, will it help nature restore, or will we see a lot more degradation happening? We see in some parts of the world people using technology, using many different ways of changing policies and regulations to heal nature, and we see a lot of places around the world where they build policies and technologies that really continue degrading the nature that we see. And from a systems perspective, we see that kind of global rules and processes stay resilient in the face of challenges. And we've seen that in some countries during, for example, the COVID pandemic. And we've seen it in some other systems where cybersecurity and systems have failed. So we see places where we do see resilience, and we see places where you see a lot of agility happening in the world. So based on all of these assumptions and trends, every year at the Dubai Future Foundation, we go ahead and start identifying, okay, what mega trends are going to shape the world as we go forward? So I'll talk about 10 mega trends. We see a huge materials revolutions. So this is kind of breakthroughs in technology and sciences, changing the idea of what materials are and how we can use materials in our daily life, in our industries and our kind of machines and so on. We see that data will become boundless and multidimensional. So this will advance computing, advance research, advance a lot of these things. We see that kind of one huge mega trend we see is technological vulnerabilities, and our colleagues spoke about this much earlier. Cybersecurity, the ability to change things in technology, the ability to change things in other things. So we see technology will have a lot of vulnerabilities going forward. We also see that energy boundaries will extend. So getting energy from different kind of things that we currently do, from renewables, from oil, we see that growth there. And we as well see evolving ecosystems where environments will continue to kind of manage themselves and go forward during that. We also see that kind of the world will become a lot more borderless when it comes from an economic perspective, from a digitization perspective, from an AI perspective. And again, based on that, we see a lot more kind of investment in digital realities and the role that technology builds kind of in establishing immersive worlds. And we've seen that in kind of the aviation industry sometimes is where they use VR and kind of the metaverse ecosystem to teach kind of the workforce of the aviation industry. And what you're going to see more, and we've seen that recently, where Tesla has stopped developing the Model S and Model X and investing heavily in robotics. So we see life with autonomous robots and automation kind of growing as we go forward. And we see, I believe if you attended the session of His Excellency Mohammed Al-Gargawi yesterday, he spoke about the future of humanity. As we start looking at technologies and changes around the world, what we need to understand is, are people ready for humanity going forward and for what the role of a human and a citizen going forward? And are governments designed for the governments of the past or for humans of the past or humans of the future? And one of our last kind of trends that we see a lot of kind of investment in advanced health and nutrition. And I think a lot of the sessions at the World Government Summit as well speak about a lot of investment in these types of technologies going forward. And there's a lot of change in regulation that needs to happen in these industries for them to start developing. But again, when you look at all that and we start understanding what the future is, how do we, as the Dubai Future Foundation, take all of this and start thinking, okay, what does this mean for Dubai? What does the Dubai play? How can we ensure that Dubai, as a city and as part of the country of the UAE, start taking these ideas and bringing them to life? So our role at the Dubai Future Foundation really focuses on three things. We're not just a technology-run entity. We look at the future of sectors, for example, the future of aviation. We look at the future of healthcare, future of education, future of other things. We look at the future of society, what it means to build a city that has 200 nationalities. How do you build a sense of belonging, quality of life, values, and a very changing life? And we look at the role of government and how can government continuously support the changes that we see in innovation. And as you can see, everything we do here really depends on two main things: regulations, because the regulations changes everything that we have to do. It either supports the innovation that we want or delays it, and the future of technology and how do we embed technology in the work that we do. I'll speak a little bit kind of about the future of sectors. I won't go into details, but what we've been spending our time on is we spending a lot more money from the government of Dubai on research and development, and investing a lot in healthcare and research in healthcare, research and logistics, because Dubai is a logistics hub. If our research and our logistics doesn't develop and doesn't advance, we delay the growth of our industries. We also, for example, look at the future of gaming and the role that gaming plays in the industry in Dubai. We believe that this is the future, so we started establishing that as well. In society, we do a lot of projects around the sense of fertility, the issues around declining fertility rate, declining populations, and that has a lot of impacts on other things. So we really spend a lot of time there, and a lot of time around quality of life. As we start detailing every single industry, what it means to be human in a city, what values does it take for these humans to exist in that city. And the last, the role of government in Dubai is extremely important. The role of governments around the world is extremely important. The role of governments like the GCA is extremely important. As we continuously look to an ever-changing world with countless innovations happening, if we don't have a ready government for these changes that are happening, then we will delay every type of innovation that's coming. So if our government is not ready, if our government is not talking about the language of innovation, then we delay a lot of development that we see going forward. So this is what I wanted to give you, a gist around the Dubai Future Foundation. Our role in the end is simple, is to ensure that Dubai is always 10 years ahead, and we derive Dubai 10 years ahead. And when you look at the future as it's a huge kind of industry for us to look into. We jump in the morning from discussions around the future of sports to middle of the day to future of humanity to end of the day around AI and technologies. So our work is very diverse because the future needs a lot more diversity in the technologies and the industries that we talk about. So thank you very much. This is what we do at the Dubai Future Foundation. I just wanted to give you a short introduction to that.